What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really been moving it and where I see things going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So ETC is up 0.69%, 9.84 million in volume over the last 24 hours. And this is something I've mentioned quite frequently in previous videos, is just to monitor the overall volume. And we've seen a very nice bump up in that volume, not just with ETC, but pretty much across the board. And a lot of that volume is coming from big money associated to money markets. So currently, there is still $7.07 trillion sitting in money markets, but just this last week, there was $7.26 billion leaving money markets to go both to equity and crypto. So at the end of the day, that's why you did see a little bit more of a bump up. And with a lot of speculative stocks and crypto, that's all you need is a huge inflow of capital. At the same time, people's appetite for risk is increasing. So from the fear and greed index, you see it under the greed category, meaning people's appetite for risk is on the table. At the same time, you are seeing Bitcoin's dominance kind of losing a little bit of favor. So potentially this might be premature to say, but maybe in the next month and a half, we will be seeing a full-on altcoin season. This is something people have been waiting a very long time for. So that would ultimately mean that ETC and many other coins would be just going up like crazy. Currently, based on market cap, ETC is ranked number 32. When I first started covering it, I think it was like 16. So it's definitely lost a lot of favor, and a lot of that has to do with just ETC not really developing at the same level as other coins. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the ecosystem. But with this new update that should be launched, I believe it is Q4 2025, the Olympia upgrade should really fix a lot of that and incentivize a lot of growth on the ecosystem. So in general, this might be the next big catalyst. Like I said, I think the rollout is planned for Q4 2025. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from all that though, you have seen shorts still pretty much fully ingrained in ETC. And when I first started covering ETC, it was the most heavily shorted coin out there. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's added a certain level of suppression, which is probably why at the same time it is ranked number 32 based on the market cap. Just people's perception of ETC isn't all that great. But looking at the liquidations, you have started to see some shorts return, and this is something that we have not really seen in the last while. So when it comes down to it, even on the 27th, that's what kickstarted a nice push higher. You did see 2.6 million in shorts liquidating their positions. You have also seen at the same time a abnormal amount of longs liquidating, and I think that's just simply profit taking, day trading, and whatever else. So it's kind of bound to happen. You do see that happen more common than not, but nonetheless, the fact that it is still holding these gains despite longs and also in some cases shorts kind of liquidating their position, that shows that big money is getting in. And this is why I've said that like the amount of volume and just the liquidity getting in is very, very important. Aside from all that fun stuff though, with it right now at 24.19, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 22.82 is going to be a strong support. I don't really see that being touched, at least for the foreseeable future, unless something really does go kind of negative. So we do have a lot of big data points this week and a lot of big companies unveiling their earnings, and depending on what they give for future guidance, whether it be optimistic or bearish, that could change people's appetite for risk. So again, 22.82, just kind of watch for that. Flip side, 25.93 followed by 27.84 is going to be the next strong target / resistance points. And in my opinion, the fact again that it's holding these gains and today is Tuesday goes to show that we are wanting higher highs, because we're kind of throwing it back to 2022. Because in case for those of you that weren't trading at that stage, all cryptos would run on the weekend, and then come Monday, things would taper off and kind of go to the near support level and rinse and repeat, right? It would happen every single time. But this time around, so far in 2025, that has started to happen, but only earlier. So now people know over the weekend, people are bored or they just want to trade. There is always that bump up that does come on Friday afternoon. So people are starting to kind of forward think that crypto is going to go up over the weekend, so start getting in early. So in my opinion, the fact that again it's holding these gains goes to show that this 25.93 most likely will be hit by either Wednesday evening or Thursday, and then come the weekend it should trade between this R2 and this R1, unless there is some very positive things that do come out pushing it potentially to this R3 to this R2. So there's a lot of optimism associated to ETC. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Where do you see things going? Where would you be buying next? Like, what's your kind of general thoughts on ETC? And what's your viewpoint for those of you that have researched it on the Olympia upgrade? Do you think that this is a good catalyst, or do you think that this is just going to be kind of fluff? What's your general thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, if you are looking for a good place to talk shop as far as cryptocurrency, stocks, options, pop over to my Discord. It is completely free. A lot of good people talking about stocks and everything that you ever pretty much need in life. So with all that said, appreciate all of you watching.